Hi, library friends. It's Miss Tree coming to you from the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library in Charlotte, North Carolina. And today we are going to be celebrating all of those people who help us out every single day, because we are going to be celebrating the community helpers who work around us in our neighborhoods, towns, and cities. And so to give you a sense of what we're going to be doing today, we are going to be doing a little bit of Did You Know, where we are going to talk about who the community helpers are around us and what they do. We are then going to do a fun rhyme all about some community helpers. And then I am going to be sharing with you a very, very funny book. Just wait and see. I think it'll have you barking up the right tree, hopefully. After that, we're going to do another rhyme, so get ready to sing along with me. And then, look at that. It's going to be time for another book. And this one is a guessing game, so you're going to have to help me out with it. Do you think you can do that? I think you can. After we do our book, we're going to do an activity where I am going to hold up some things, and you're going to have to see if you can help me guess. I hope you guys are good guessers. You're going to need to get your thinking caps on for today's story time. And then after we do our activity, I am going to show you an activity that you can do at home. All you're going to need is an empty envelope, a piece of paper, a pencil, and if you want to make it fancy, some crayons and markers and things like that. But you're also going to need one postage stamp if you want to actually mail it. But you don't have to. You'll see. I'll explain. And so let's see where that means. That's right. We're starting with some Did You Know? And like I said, our theme today is all about community helpers. So do you know what a community helper is? Well, first, let me ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, many of you know that I work for the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and I am a librarian. And so I am actually one of your community helpers, because I help you find all types of resources where you can find information about anything that interests you. And so I am actually a community helper. I feel so special. But there are so many other types of community helpers out there. Can you think of some? What is it you wanted to be when you grow up? Do you want to be a firefighter? A firefighter's a community helper. What about a dentist? They're community helpers. And what about a chef? Do you like to cook? A chef is a community helper. And what about a bus driver? They're a community helper too. Do you have a pet you love? I do. And her community helper is a veterinarian. That's a doctor for dogs. And actually, we're going to be talking about veterinarians today. I told you we're talking all about community helpers. And then, what about some of those people that keep us safe? That's right. Police officers are community helpers. All of these people do amazing things every day to protect us, keep us safe, help us learn, help us get around, and help us stay nourished and comfortable in our communities. And all of them are community helpers. So that is just a little bit about what a community helper is. Do you want to be a community helper when you grow up? I hope so. What kind of community helper do you want to be? Well, like I said, I am a librarian. And so that leads me to one of our rhymes. And this rhyme is called The People in Your Town. And it starts with a librarian. The librarian in our town says, read a book, read a book, read a book. The librarian in our town says, read a book all day long. The firefighter in our town says, stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll all day long. The teacher in our town says, let's learn something, let's learn something, let's learn something. The teacher in our town says, let's learn something all day long. The mail carrier in our town says, here's your mail. Here's your mail. Here's your mail. The mail carrier in our town says, here's your mail all day long. The doctor in our town says, how do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? The doctor in our town says, how do you feel? All day long. The dentist in our town says, open wide, open wide, open wide. The dentist in our town says, open wide, all day long. Give yourselves a hand. You did a great job. Well, that was our rhyme. So let's see. That means it's time for our first book. Are you ready to share a book with me? I'm ready to share one with you. So let's see what we're going to be sharing today. We are going to start with this fun book right here. This is called Bark George, and it is by Jules Pfeiffer. And it was an imprint of Michael D. Capua Books, published by HarperCollins Publishers in 1999. And so, Bark George. Bark George, Jules Pfeiffer. George's mother said, bark, George. George went meow. Meow. No, George, said George's mother. Cats go meow. Dogs go arf. Now, bark, George. George went quack, quack. Quack, quack. No, George, said George's mother. Ducks go quack, quack. Dogs go arf. Now, bark George. George went oink. Oink. No, George, said George's mother. Pigs go oink. Dogs go arf. Now bark George. George went moo. Moo? George's mother took George to the vet. I'll soon get to the bottom of this, said the vet. Please bark George. George went meow. Meow. The vet reached down inside George and pulled out a cat. Bark, George, went the vet. George went quack, quack. The vet reached deep, deep down inside of George and pulled out a duck. Bark again, George. George went oink. The vet reached deep, deep, deep down inside of George and pulled out a pig. Bark again, George. George went moo. The vet put on his longest latex glove. Then he reached deep, 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 deep down inside of George. And pulled out a cow. Bark again, George. George went arf. George's mother was so thrilled that she kissed the vet and the cat and the duck and the pig and the cow. On the way home, she wanted to show George off to everyone on the street. So she said, "Bark, George." And George went, "Hello!" And that is the end of Bark George by Jules Feiffer, published by HarperCollins Books in 1999. And that book was about a community helper known as a veterinarian. A veterinarian, like I said before, is a doctor who takes care of pets. And so that was the book we shared, which now means it's time for us to do another rhyme. Are you ready to rhyme with me? Okay, let's rhyme. Ready? We're going to be farmers, okay? A farmer works his fields, a farmer works his fields. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, a farmer works his field. A dentist cleans our teeth, a dentist cleans our teeth. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, a dentist cleans our teeth. A librarian reads a book, a librarian reads a book. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, a librarian reads a book. A barber cuts our hair, a barber cuts our hair. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, a barber cuts our hair. A waiter serves us food, a waiter serves us food. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, a waiter serves us food. There are so many jobs that you might want to do. Take some time and you'll find the job that's just right for you. And that is the end of our rhyme, which means it's now time for us to share another book. And if you remember, I mentioned that one of our books was something you had to help me with because it's a little bit of a guessing game. Are you ready to play a guessing game with me? Well, let's share our next book. And this book is called Clothesline Clues to the Jobs People Do. And it's by Catherine Helling and Deborah Hembrook. And it was illustrated by Andy Robert Davies. And it was published by Charles Bridge Publishers in 2012. So, Clothesline Clues to Jobs People Do. Look at the clotheslines and see every clue. Who uses these things for the jobs they do? Uniform and cap, an invite for you. Big bag of letters. What job does she do? What job do you think she does? A bag of letters? Did you guess? She is a mail carrier. Milk and pail, overalls in blue, plaid shirt bandana. What job does he do? Ready to guess? Do you have an idea in your head? Let's see if you're right. He is a farmer. Did you guess farmer? I'm sure you did. I know you're very smart. Oven mitts, apron, a recipe for stew, puffy hat and whisk. What job does he do? Ready to guess? Do you think you know, puffy hat? He is a chef. Did you get that one right? I bet you did. Ooh, this one looks tough. A smock, beret, and brushes. Paints of every hue. Canvas and an easel. What job does he do? Do you have a guess? Ready? Let's see if you're right. He is an artist. Are you an artist? I bet you are. Making art is fun. Ooh, this one looks really tough. Coveralls, a tool belt, work gloves and glue, safety glasses, and a saw. What job does she do? Who uses tools to do their work? She is a carpenter. Very good. Ooh, I think we might know this one. Heavy pants, a helmet, wide suspenders too, rescue coat, long hose. What job does she do? Who uses a hose in their job? Do you know? She is a firefighter. Oh my goodness. Who would use a suit like that? A spacesuit and jetpack. Star charts to review. Flight gloves and moon boots. What job does she do? Who might use moon boots? Moon boots? Oh, I think I know. She is an astronaut. These clothes are all clues to jobs people do. Is one of these jobs just right for you? And that is the end of Clothesline Clues to Jobs People Do by Katherine Helling and Deborah Hembrook, illustrated by Andy Robert Davies, and published by Charlesburg Publishers in 2012. Did you see a job in there that you want to do? Maybe. Do you want to be an astronaut? Or a firefighter? Or a mail carrier? Because that was our book. But that leads us to another rhyme we're going to do. And this one, the reason I keep mentioning mail carriers is because it's about the mail that a mail carrier brings with them to your house or apartment or school. And so I have a bunch of letters that somebody sent me, and we're going to look at our letters. Oh, I've got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. So I've got a letter here addressed to me. It's got a stamp on it and a return address label. But let's see who my letter is from. It says, "Dear friend, can you help me chop the vegetables and cook the rice? Thank you." Who do you think my letter's from? They want me to help them chop vegetables and cook rice. My letter is from the chefs. They sent me a letter. That was so nice of them. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Ready? There's my next letter, addressed to me. Let's open it up and see who it's from. Ready? Dear friend, can you help me milk the cows and feed the chickens? Thank you. Who do you think my letter's from? Milk the cows and feed the chickens? Who might do that? That's right. My letter is from the farmer. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Ready? I got another letter addressed to me. Let's see who it's from. Dear friend, can you help me carry my bag? It is very full of letters. Thank you. So they've got a heavy bag full of letters. Who do you think it's from? That's right. It's from the mail carrier. Oh, it looks like I've got one more letter. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. And there's my letter. Let's see who it's from. Dear friend, can you help me put on my helmet so I can take a spacewalk? Thank you. Who do we know that needs a helmet so that they can walk in outer space? Did you guess? That's right. It's the astronaut. Perfect. Well, we were so special today. We got so many letters from so many special friends who are all community helpers. And so that was our rhyme activity for today, which now means it's time for me to show you an activity you can do at home that ties to one of our community helpers, the mail carrier. Because what we're going to do today is, just like we got letters, we are going to send a letter to somebody we know and love. So for this, all you're going to need is an empty envelope, a piece of paper, and like I said, some pencils, crayons, markers, if you want to make it fancy, whatever you want to do. But you also need to know who you want to send it to. And you'll need a postage stamp if you want to drop it in a mailbox. So the first thing we need to do is learn how to address an envelope. So an envelope, when we address it, has multiple parts. Up here is the return address, and that return address is you. So you would put your name, your address, and where you live, because that is the return address, which returns to you. But now this is the fun part. We need to know who we're sending it to. So to whom is this letter being sent? And I, remember me, am sending this letter to you. So I have your address and the city and state where you live. And so that is how you address an envelope. And once you know who you want to send that to, you can write any type of letter you want. So here is my letter that I am sending out. So you can see I've got my return address up on top and the person I'm sending it to in the middle. And then here is my card. It says, I love you. Dear you, I just wanted to let you know that I think you are special. Love, Tree. And so once I get my card all written out, I'm going to put it inside my very special envelope. Make sure it has a stamp. Lick it closed and put it in my mailbox for the mail carrier to pick up and take to you or to my very special friends. And so, do you have someone in your life that you want to send a letter to? Here's your chance. So, remember, you just need some paper and an envelope and somebody special in mind, and you can send a letter with a mail carrier, one of our community helpers, to somebody special you know. And so that was our activity for today. And that was our last thing today. And so, my friends, I'm going to wish you a goodbye. But if you want to learn more about community helpers, like your librarian, and you have a Charlotte Mecklenburg Library card or a CMS One Access account, remember you can go to the library's website at www.cmlibrary.org and learn more about community helpers in your neighborhood and maybe find a community helper that you want to be when you grow up. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.